Good evening. I'm supposed to say, will everyone be seated, but I think you've got that figured out, so welcome tonight. And I want to welcome Dean Brian Boer, Honorable Regent Darren Rocha, Senior Vice President and Provost Karen Hansen, faculty, staff, parents, families, friends. My name is Mike White. I'm Associate Dean for Academic Programs and Faculty Affairs for the College of Food, Agricultural, and Natural Resource Sciences. It's my privilege tonight to welcome each and every one of you to the ceremony in honor of our students who have reached a most significant milestone in their lives. Graduates, or soon-to-be graduates, you've worked really hard to get here, but you know, as well as I, that you didn't do it alone. So I'd like you to please join me in a big round of applause for all of those who stood by you throughout your academic career, and for all those who are here today with you, your loving families, supporters, friends. Let's begin by giving them a round of applause. Have you ever had an older relative look at you and say, wow, you've really grown, right? You remember that? Well, I'm here to tell you that, my goodness, how you have grown. You've grown in your knowledge, you've grown in experiential and interdisciplinary and intercultural learning, you've broadened your globalized viewpoint, your perspectives through liberal education, possibly having studied abroad. You've gained expertise in your specific discipline and major. You are not the same person you were when you came to CFANS and the University of Minnesota. My, how you've grown in so many ways. The education and collective experience that you've obtained on your road to this day have prepared you well to become leaders, change makers, and contributors towards solving the grand challenges facing us today. The education you've gained here will be invaluable to you as you go out to discover your personal mission in life. We are proud of you, and we're honored to count you as graduates of the University of Minnesota. So many of you have distinguished yourselves in many ways here during your time in CFANS, and we'd like to recognize some of these accomplishments. So first, to all of those students graduating from the University of Minnesota Honors Program, you have undertaken a rigorous course of study, scholarship, research, or creative work culminating in an honors thesis, while simultaneously maintaining a high-quality workload in very difficult courses. You deserve our praise, so will all the students who are participating or have participated in the honors program please stand for recognition. Well done, well done. And please be seated. Thank you. Next, I'd like to recognize students who are graduating with distinction. What that means is they have graduated with a GPA of 3.75. And I'd also like those who have graduated or are graduating with high distinction, which is a GPA, grade point average, if that means anything to you, of 3.9. So will all the students who are graduating with distinction or high distinction please stand for recognition now? Well done. Please be seated. Thank you. I'd also like to recognize all students who are graduating in the Community Engaged Scholars Program. These students have completed a rigorous course of study involving service learning, coursework, and significant community service. Will you please rise and be recognized? Thank you. Please be seated. And lastly, I'd like to recognize the students who've persevered through challenges, shown that they are both smarter and tougher than they thought they were, and have made this college, university, and world a better place. Will the entire class of 2015 please rise and be recognized? Excellent, excellent. You can be seated now. Okay, next part. So it's now my sincere honor to introduce Katie Winslow, our CFANS Student Board President. Katie is graduating with a Bachelor of Science in Agricultural Education, teaching licensure track. Katie grew up on her family's farm in southeastern Minnesota. During her time on campus, she has been involved in the CFANS Student Board, the Agricultural Education Club, the CFANS Mentor Program, and Beta of Clovia sorority. After graduation, Katie will be moving to Indiana, where she'll begin a career with Elanco Animal Health as a marketing and sales representative. Katie will be recognizing the Student Board's Faculty Award recipients and introducing the incoming Student Board President for 2015-2016. Please help me to welcome Katie.
Thank you, Mike. 4.5 years ago, I was sitting in my living room with my family, getting ready to open presents on Christmas Eve. There was one present that my family was particularly excited for me to open, and I wasn't quite sure what I would find. As I opened the box and lifted the tissue paper, there lay a maroon and gold envelope. As my heart started racing, I tore it open to reveal my congratulations and acceptance letter. I was laughing and crying as my hard work had paid off and my dreams had come true, as I had been accepted into the College of Food, Agricultural, and Natural Resource Sciences at the University of Minnesota. For many of you, your parents likely didn't steal your mail and wrap it up in a Christmas present. But I hope that you remember the joy and excitement that you felt when you opened that letter of acceptance into this great university. Now, as we look back on the past 4 years, we have memories and experiences along with a top-notch education. I would like to take this opportunity to thank everyone here on behalf of the 2015 graduating class. Thank you to the faculty and staff of CFANS, who have made us each feel at home here on campus, pushed us to our greatest potential, shared your wisdom, and left us with many stories to tell in the future. To our family, friends, and mentors who have supported us and guided us during this journey. And I would personally like to thank the CFANS student body for the honor of serving you this past year as your student board president. At this time, I would like to bring Ashley Hussein to the podium. Ashley is, yes, yay. Ashley is finishing her junior year studying nutrition. At this time, it is my pleasure to pass on the CFANS Student Board gavel to her. Ashley, may you lead the board with an open mind, respect for tradition, trust in your board, and diligence to work. Congratulations. The College of Food, Agricultural, and Natural Resource Sciences is filled with talented students, faculty, and staff, many of whom have been honored this past year. Please hold your applause until all names have been read. Dr. Douglas Mashik from the Department of Food Science and Nutrition received the Distinguished Teaching Award for tenured faculty. Receiving the Distinguished Faculty Award was Dr. Claudia Parliament of the Applied Economics Department. The CFANS Student Board recognized Agricultural Education Department's Dr. Rebecca Swenson as Outstanding Professor. Kristen Wise, a graduate student in food science, was the recipient of the CFANS Graduate Assistant Teaching Award. The Dean E. M. Freeman Medal was awarded to graduating senior in agricultural education, Sarah Lee. Receiving the President's Student Leadership and Service Award is Katie Winslow, a graduating senior in agricultural education. Awkward. All right. Before I introduce this year's class speaker, I have one announcement to make for our graduating seniors. The CFANS Student Board is happy to announce that we are continuing our graduation gown recycling program, meaning that if you don't want to hang on to your gown in the back of your closet for the next however many years, you can place it in the bins outside Northrop at the end of this evening. These gowns will be available to next year's CFANS seniors to help alleviate some of the costs of graduation. If you would like to donate your gown but want to use it for pictures this evening, you can return it at any time this week to 190 Coffee Hall. And at this time, it is my pleasure to introduce to you our senior class speaker, Ms. Chelsea Vilches. Chelsea is graduating with her Bachelor of Science in Agricultural Education with her teaching licensure. Throughout her college career, she has participated in Beta of Columbia Sorority, Agricultural Education Club, and various volunteer activities. After graduation, she will be teaching agricultural education and serve as the FFA advisor at Morris area schools. Welcome, Chelsea.
Thank you. So how exciting is it to be a graduating senior at the University of Minnesota? It has so many positive aspects to it, from looking back and reflecting to looking forward to the future. It's an exciting time for us. But there's also a few drawbacks. For example, it seems as though every single person on the planet knows you're graduating and feels inclined to ask you about it. So, what are you doing after college? Do you have a job yet? Are you concerned about the job market? The list goes on and on. Trust me, I know. But I'm also guilty of asking those questions. People ask because they're genuinely interested and they really do care. Along with that, people also have a tendency to dole out advice, which, as much as they mean well, can also get old. So, this spring, I was reading the book Profoundly Disconnected by Mike Rowe. Mike Rowe of Dirty Jobs fame. If anyone's looking for a summer read, I highly recommend it. As I was reading this book, I got to a section on graduating students. Rowe discussed that advice that students get offered, including but not limited to chase your dreams, reach for the stars, throw yourself into your career full force. All pretty basic and pretty harmless. And then Rowe discussed one that he was particularly frustrated with. Follow your passions. Now, as I was reading this, I was both shocked and appalled that Roe would say that this motto that I had been living my life by for probably 6 years was a complete and total farce. And then he explained why, and it all made sense. Why do we believe that if we follow our passions, that will make us happy and successful? As almost a college grad, I can honestly say that I'm still trying to figure out what my passions really are. Roe stated that we need to find ways to become passionate and make that decision. Instead of following our passions each day, we need to take those passions with us in everything that we do. That resonated with me. So Katie just discussed about how she received her acceptance letter, and I can remember the day that I received mine. It wasn't particularly exciting or glamorous or wrapped up in a special package like hers was, but I remember being excited and happy. However, I wasn't planning on coming to the University of Minnesota. My passions were leading me elsewhere. It took a lot of thought and consideration until I decided that the University of Minnesota offered more opportunities, more resources, and more support than any other university that I was considering. That made it an easy choice for me. Instead of following my passions to somewhere else across the country, I brought my passions with me to the University of Minnesota. I became passionate about this university and about my major, and brought my passions with me in each day. One of the best decisions of my life was choosing the University of Minnesota, and another being in choosing to bring my passions with me and becoming passionate. Class of 2015, that's what we need to do now. Maybe the job we're taking out of college isn't exactly ideal. Maybe it's not in the perfect location. Maybe we don't even have a job. Maybe we didn't get into that graduate program that we so badly wanted. But regardless, we can choose to become passionate about the situations that we're in. We've been equipped with the best resources and opportunities from one of the most outstanding universities in the nation. Now it's our job to take advantage of all of that, go out into the real world, and take our passions with us. Wherever you go after today, I would challenge you to take your passions with you and make that decision. Create your own happiness and success. Congratulations to the class of 2015. Thank you.
Thank you, Katie and Chelsea, for those wonderful words. Really inspiring. Now, I would like to introduce Paul Huguenin. Paul is the president of the CFANS Alumni Society. Paul received his BS degree in Agricultural Business Administration from our college in 1989. Paul has worked in the area of agricultural and consumer marketing for more than 20 years as a coordinator of the Minnesota Grown program with the Minnesota Department of Agriculture. Paul will be welcoming graduates into the Alumni Society, so get ready. Please join me in welcoming Paul to the podium.
Thank you, Mike. So 26 years ago, I sat here in this very same auditorium as a proud graduate of the Department of Applied Economics. And tonight, as president of the CFANS Alumni Society, it is my great pleasure to congratulate each of you as members of the CFANS graduating class of 2015. I want to leave you with just two very brief thoughts this evening. First, be proud of what you've accomplished here at CFANS. You've received a world-class education that has made you ready to make a difference in a world that desperately needs difference makers. And make no mistake about it, the University of Minnesota, especially the College of Food, Agricultural, and Natural Resource Sciences, is without a doubt one of the top institutions in the world. Second, the CFANS Alumni Society is also a world-class organization, worthy of your consideration as a place to invest your time and talent. Now, if you are in this graduating class and you've participated in the mentor program at some point while you've been at CFANS, please raise your hand nice and high and keep them up for just a couple of seconds. Excellent. Thank you very much. Now, although the Alumni Society has a lot of ways to get involved, I asked you about the mentor program because it's so easy to see how it makes a difference in the lives of students. I've talked to countless students who've built their network, gotten the inside scoop on an internship or a full-time job, picked up valuable advice, or in some cases even gained a lifelong friend and advocate because they chose to be involved with an alumni in the mentor program. But what you might not know is that this program is also a difference maker in the lives of mentors. Giving back, whether it's through mentoring, being a volunteer to come back to an intro level class to speak to freshmen, maybe volunteering to participate as an alumni in a speed networking event. Giving back will lead you to some of the most rewarding and enriching experiences of your life. And finally, don't forget to stop by the Alumni Society table tonight to pick up your tree seedling. Whether you plant it for yourself or whether you plant it for someone who's been a difference maker in your life, your CFANS graduation seedling is a great way to commemorate this important milestone. On behalf of the CFANS Alumni Society and the 26,000 CFANS alumni, congratulations.
Thanks very much, Paul. It's now my pleasure to introduce my boss, Dr. Brian Boer, the Dean of CFANS, so he can share some thoughts with all of you. Brian?
Thank you, Dean White, Regent Rosa, Provost Hanson, faculty, family, guests, and students. I'll call you graduates in a few minutes, but not quite yet. I want to welcome you and thank you for joining us for this wonderful celebration of our CFANS class of 2015. I really appreciate some of us were commenting about the procession in where you honored your family by facing them. I have to confess from this side I was concerned we were having a student revolt. But it was a pleasure to see you recognizing them, and I want to speak to your parents just a minute. You see them now 4 years later, and I have a unique experience that I've enjoyed immensely as we get to see them come in when they're freshmen and we get to see them go out, of course, as graduates now. And this year, as I came into this position, you had left, of course. You dropped them off, maybe at Bailey Hall. You exchanged your tears and hugs. I kind of hung around that next week, and I went into Bailey Hall for dinner one evening, Thursday night actually, to visit with our freshman students coming in. And you probably remember when you drove away. But I can tell you, as bold as they looked when they left you, trying to keep that stiff upper lip, that Thursday, they were deer in the headlights. I went into Bailey Hall, and you could see, I sat down about 12 students, and you could see that they were, for the first time, kind of unmoored from their family and unmoored from their familiar area. They were meeting new friends, colleagues. They'd come through chemistry 14 or 1142, or was it 1015 that somebody struggled with? Calculus 1142. And I actually helped a young student, a young woman who was working on her first English assignment, wondering how to start out and where to go with it. I said, just talk about what you know and go with that. And I think she did pretty well. I saw her the next week. And now you look at the students here, and what you find are students like Katie, who is our student board president, who just gave a wonderful, wonderful speech, and our guest speaker as well. We've had students who've traveled to Nepal and they've come back. We've had students who've accomplished success in their own right and done things they never thought they could do. And so as Dr. White said, how they've grown over time. And it's just fantastic to watch that growth from the time I could see in this year's class coming in to our class before us today that's been so successful. So that was to the families and friends. What I want to address next are the students a little bit. And through your years, and I actually want to thank you, which I don't think anybody's done yet. Through your years here, you've enriched our lives and our community We're honored to have had your vibrant and inquisitive presence in our labs and classrooms, your enthusiasm and ingenuity leading our student boards and clubs, your intrepid curiosity traveling abroad with us, and your compassion in creating a caring and supportive learning community with your fellow classmates. In tennis, it's often said you're only as good as your partner is. And so you've challenged us as a faculty to be vibrant, to be inquisitive, to be enthusiastic, and to be compassionate in our vocations as we engage with young people setting out on their careers. You have made us a better college, a better university, and we thank you for that. So now, as was said before, I want you to celebrate your accomplishments today. Tomorrow, you are going to enter a world of grand challenges. We believe all your hard work has prepared you well for that. And as you know, you've heard it many times, probably while you're here in the College of Food, Agricultural, and Natural Resource Sciences, we are trying to feed a growing population. And basically, if you think of that generically, we need to add another Earth in the next 20 years. So far, we haven't found it. So maybe our astronomers will help us out. But I doubt that. I suspect we'll have to grow our food productivity and supplies, increase our population's nutrition, heal our climate, heal our prairies, wetlands, and increase our biodiversity on the planet, and heal our people and societies. So you have a big challenge in front of you. And I'm confident that with your education and inherent enthusiasm that I've observed over the years, you will be the generation to meet that big challenge. But you will have to do so by being audacious in your goals. And so I'll leave you with a quote from Nelson Mandela, who said, "There is no passion to be found playing small, in settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living." So congratulations to the class of 2015. Now, speaking of passion and commitment to the world, it's my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, Lori Watso. Lori Watso is the Secretary-Treasurer of the Shakopee Medwakanton Sioux community. Ms. Watso has been a driving force behind the Shakopee Sioux community's healthy food initiatives, including the development of the tribe's working farm, a community-supported agricultural program, and Mezopia, the Shakopee Sioux's natural foods market. A passionate health and nutrition advocate, Watso has a nursing degree from St. Catherine University and studied public health administration at the University of Minnesota. So you got it right the second time. Congratulations. And as a certified natural chef by Bauman College. She previously served on the SMSC Gaming Commission, which oversees licensing for and regulation of the tribe's gaming operations, as well as the tribe's education and enrollment committees. Ms. Watso's service leadership also extends to executive boards that include the Minneapolis Institute of Arts Board of Trustees and Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center Board of Directors, and previous chair of the Indigenous Peoples Task Force Board of Directors. This past April, the Shakopee Medwakanton Sioux sponsored the Seeds of Native Health program. It's a nutrition initiative including the University of Minnesota and CFANS, and we're very proud to be connected with that initiative. The goal of Seeds of Native Health initiative is supporting strategies and solutions to assure healthy nutrition decisions and recognizing the interconnectedness of the earth and healthy people. Lori has been a key advocate and partner in this and other initiatives with the University of Minnesota and CFANS, and I'm absolutely delighted to introduce to you Lori Watso.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share in this very important day. I want to thank the University of Minnesota for extending this honorable invitation to the Shakopee Medwakanton Sioux community, and to my fellow tribal council members, Chairman Charlie Vig and Vice Chairman Keith Anderson, for agreeing to have me share this time with all of you. You're likely asking, why is the Shakopee Medwakanton Sioux community making this address? Well, before and after agreeing to accept this task, I certainly asked the same question. However, after a bit of focused consideration, it makes perfect sense to me. Of course, there are the readily evident reasons for our participation today. The Shakopee Medwakanton has a close and rich relationship with the University of Minnesota. Most recently, as Dean Burr said, we're working together, specifically with CFANS, on Seeds of Native Health. This campaign for indigenous nutrition is an initiative for which our tribe has committed $5 million. Extreme poverty and the loss of traditional foods have caused many natives to suffer from inadequate diets and have led to widespread acute and chronic health problems. Many grassroots practitioners, researchers, and advocates are already working to restore healthful diets in Indian country, but the Shakopee Mdewakanton believe it is time for a national campaign to encourage broader strategies to improve Native nutrition now and in the future. Our tribal government is also moving aggressively to build and secure food sovereignty. For tribes, sovereignty, in the most basic sense, is a term that today refers to our inherent right to self-govern and strive to achieve self-determination. Like many other tribal governments, our community has its own water system. We generate electricity utilizing solar and wind generation technology. We have financial resources to build and operate our own primary health care services and pharmacy. The tribe runs a full-service fire station, including EMT and ambulance services. These resources are not solely for our tribal members. They also serve our over 4,000 employees, our neighbors, and surrounding communities. But at their core, these efforts and others are the tribe's expression and attainment of self-sufficiency. Today, we are also beekeepers. We use organic practices in growing acres of fruits and vegetables. We have been gifted many varieties of traditional native seeds, and we dedicate protected land to grow, save, and share these wonderful seeds with other Native communities. We operate a natural grocery store, not unlike your local natural food co-op. We have reclaimed part of historic, treaty-promised land resources, and we have valuable arable land to cultivate. And we are quickly becoming more self-sufficient with regard to our food sources. As a government and as Dakota people, we have a duty to protect and manage our natural resources, to be good stewards of the land. The tribe conducts water quality testing. We restore native prairies and maintain our wetlands. We are quickly moving toward larger-based organic and restorative farming. We operate an organic recycling facility where we produce and sell compost to the public. In my mind, these are some of the reasons why the tribe was asked to be with you today. But I want to share with you what I wholeheartedly believe is perhaps a more meaningful, poignant reason you are hearing from a representative of a Native tribe, a Native community, a Mdewakanton Dakota community. Native teachings are rich and diverse, and I do not pretend to be a spiritual leader or an expert on Dakota traditions or scientific knowledge. But there are ideas that are so widely shared and have been passed on for generations, perhaps since time immemorial, that are commonly acknowledged and understood not just in Native communities, but in the broader community as well. First, this rock that we all share, that we all stand on while it flies through space, is our mother, Mother Earth. Second, we act today considering how our decisions and actions may impact the 7th generation of people in the future. And while there is not a definitive written recorded history of the ancient knowledge of natives, we know that natives enjoyed a deep scientific understanding of their environment and of the world. As I prepared for this day, the deeper purpose of the tribe's presence today came together for me. You are the stewards of the earth. The list of majors and minors offered by CFANS indicates you are educated and trained in most every subject area that relates to the world in which we live and our immediate and larger environments. Water science, soil science, fisheries, forestry, natural resources, climatology, animal science, food science. When I see these disciplines, I know deep in my heart, we are talking about Mother Earth which provides and sustains us all. Each of you will have a significant impact on the future of our Earth. Each of you will have a significant impact on the future of our children, and each and every one of you will have a significant impact on the 7th generation to come. We all know the realities of the world of economies, the world of corporations, the world of governments and politics. In many ways, the corporations and politicians are the recognized stewards of the world because they maintain power and authority to make policy and shape behavior. But never forget, you are the scientists. You are the experts. In today's world, there are voices who reach millions of people telling them the Earth is 6,000 years old, that climate change is a hoax. Voices who diminish the importance of scientific knowledge and inquiry. You must never forget that you have the education and the knowledge. And with knowledge comes great responsibility. Just as I know that I have a responsibility to be with you here today and remind you of a readily accepted reality, you have a responsibility to serve, not just yourselves, not just your families, but your communities, humanity, and our planet. Use your knowledge to protect our water. Use your knowledge to improve the nutritional value of our foods. Use your knowledge to enrich and restore the soil to sustain our fisheries. Use your knowledge to find new or different ideas that ultimately improve the lives of all people. Many of you may have jobs waiting for you. Some of you may still be looking for jobs. But it is certain, throughout your careers, you will have many opportunities. Food, agriculture, corporations, large or small farm operations, government agencies, mining companies, the list goes on. But as you move forward, please do not forget about the original stewards of this earth, the native people of this land, here and throughout the continent. Perhaps for you, there will be an opportunity to work with a tribal government or a native community. And then together, we can be stewards and protectors of our earth and for those of the 7th generation. A sincere congratulations to each of you, to your families, friends, and all who have supported your journey to this day. Pidamia.
Thank you so much, Lori. That was very inspiring. Okay, here we go. We're now ready to present the graduates of the class of 2015. Woo! Come on! All right, this is how it's going to go. We're going to present the graduates by major in alphabetical order, okay? We'll read their names as they cross the stage for congratulations to receive their diploma cover. The graduates will then return to their seats. So that's how that's going to work. Now, normally I would say at this point, and ask everyone, would you please hold your applause to the end? But you know what? This is a pretty amazing group. These students that we've supported and encouraged, they're graduating from the University of Minnesota and CFANS. Come on. I want you to cheer for them. Let's go. I want you to do that. But I also want you to do it quick so we can hear everybody's name, okay? So let's be reasonable, okay? So what's going to happen here is Bill Ganslin, our Director of Student Services, will be reading the names of this year's graduates. So now it's my honor to present to you the graduates of the class of 2015. Yeah.
I'll begin by introducing graduates Agricultural and Food Business Management, represented by Dr. Michael Boland. Teal Pitchka. Jan Rahaminov. Fabian Young. Yangshi Lim. Oscar Lee. Yasin Shu. Haisu Lee. Elizabeth Donnelly. Christina DeLakis. Robert Sexton. Joshua Zeman. Nicholas Reps. Dylan Barth. Eric DeBleek. Joseph O'Sullivan. New major. Now, moving on to agricultural education graduates, represented by Dr. Rebecca Swenson. Ethan Lapham. Paige Lemke. Rebecca Gross. Lisa Buzak. Nathan Anderson. Sarah Lee. Caitlin Ashfeld. Teal Campy. Andrea Clement. Stefan Melson. Katie Winslow. Eric Seifert. Lauren Cervic. Cassie Olson. Kelsey Mussman. Katie McNabb. Sarah Williamson. Jared Lumen. Lisa Roker. Hannah Wiltz. Chelsea Vilchis. Okay. Now introducing Agricultural Industries and Marketing graduates, represented by Rebecca Swenson. Jordan Meyer. Justin Bloomer. Derek Dietz. Jory Dobbs. Joshua Nelson. Okay. Now introducing animal science graduates, represented by Dr. Tony Sikora. Kendra Renblum. Julian Esperanza. Joey Milkey. Lauren Ashland. Rianne Dyer. Catherine Meyer. Brittany Santos. Veronica Tennell. Heather Woltman. Taylor Abram. Ryan O'Gara. Dylan Victor. Stephanie Lewison. Samantha Kelly. Carlin Hood. James Polowitz. Nicole Zacher. Caroline Kistler. Allison Pieper. Jacqueline Dingles. Allison Schwarto. Natalie Johnston. Andrew Miron. Caleb Dressen. Blair Tostenson. Tyler Johnson. Brett Schwartz. Sarah Rorick. Abby Mills. Rachel Turhark. Ashley Hurley. Leonard Fung. Suzanne Lamb. Margaret Cahill. Isabel Ide. Delaney Vanderheiden. Haley Moline. Maura Doherty. Douglas Petzel. Andrew Hetke. Michael Schmidt. Justin Sewert. Andrew Plumsky. Robin Doherty. Madeline Ebel. Anna Larson. Lisa Tan. Laura Hyder. Amanda Kuhorn. Alicia Reese. Melissa Falk. Joseph Antony. Michaela Trudeau. Jessica Sands. Rebecca Rutkowski. Chelsea Staples. Olivia Dramel. Haley Erickson. Deanna Scheller. Jennifer Frederick. Emily Spano. McKenna Gettinger. Amber Richards. Catherine Crawford. Michelle Erickson. Catherine Brower. Maria Harold. Sarah Armstrong Service. Lindsay Wilfong. Kristen Kubal. Kayla Borka. Brianna Goldman. Brianna Newsill. Olivia Harris. Benjamin Treewortha. Okay, we now have a new major, Applied Economics, represented by Dr. Tade Okediji. Brianna Lucan. Kevin Ernst. Nicholas Birkland. Aaron Marmer. Christy Clark. Timothy Stockton. Dennis Nelson. Joshua Tangway. Margaret Jennison. Sean Foley. Olive Martin. Soham Sangupta. Troy Hamar. Stephen Drill. Grant Savage. Thomas Zawicki. Lawrence Karango. Jacob North. Aaron Elias. Tyler Lyons. Dylan Lyons. Matthew Davidson. Rintao Chong. Shren Wang. Ian Coakley. Max Coffey. Alan Chen. Matthew Mateka. Ethan Barquest. Rongrong Jing. Yuan Mao. Iran Wong. Jinye Wong. Yiting Tai. Kelly Turner. Joseph Carl. Timothy Shanks. Yan Lee. Wenyi Lee Chan. Joaquin Valdez. Perez. Mitchell Erickson. Michael Doroff. Ashley Harper. Griffin Mailing. Blaine Nelson. Dylan Fisher. Ryan Novakoski. Tusa Pokam. Yexin Chu. Anchi Sun. Ginyuan Tian. Okay. We have a new major, Applied Plant Science, represented by Dr. Kevin Smith. Benjamin Barhula. Brittany Johnson. Sean Eng. Alex Steffel. Sarah Hirth. Michael Laskowski. Okay. We have a new major, Bioproducts Marketing and Management, represented by Dr. Robert Seavey. That's Bob. Kevin Wag. Michael Lehman. Frank Peters. Tyler Kitzero. Brian Thawald. Casey Simmons. Joseph Rumpy. We have a new major, Environmental Sciences, Policy and Management, represented by Dr. Dennis Becker. Eric Edston. Brianna Kirby. Stephen Tyson. Matthew Billings. Ho-Ting Sunny Long. Elliot Homeland. Forrest Idbo. Caitlin Knapp. Margot McElveen. Michael Smith. Brian Ebert. Quentin Bunnell. Allison Bogas. Tyler Madsen. Stefan Labis. Kristen Peterson. John Brock-Galtons. Cody Muddows. Jillian Riley. Rachel Schindler. Catherine Labine. Patrick Connerton. Lita Beach. Eleanor Harris. Shir Shua. Andrew Wheeldryer. Joseph Ram. William Bowman. Amelia Kreider. Michael Pauley. Shen Zhang. Farah Zainal. Brady Mahoney. Brianna Goldbeck. Natalie Campbell. Madeline Giefer. Amy Hooley. Kaylima Holt. Jacqueline Klemek. Alyssa Johnson. Kristen Seaman. Sandra Larson. Jared Nelson. Ramona Engelman. Tian Yu Hu. Muhammad Ibrahim. Major, okay. We have a new major, Fisheries and Wildlife, represented by Dr. Susan Golodowicz. Bryn Johnson. Cooper Johnson. See you later. Joshua Enerson. Anthony Bodelson. Sin Pan. Hannah Sundstrom. Elizabeth Rasmussen. Amber Lindholm. Carrie Madison. Aaron Hawes. Faith Kelly. Norma Thompson. Emily Earhart. Ella Ostland. Guy Schmidt. Nathan Indrezano. Samantha Miller. Erica Senick. Chelsea Home. John Douglas. Michael Roweeder. Okay. We have a new major, food science, represented by Dr. Pam Ishmael. Gabrielle Abels Allison. Paula Olson. Megan Salman. Rebecca Pear. Doug Snyder. Deanda Irwan. Stephanie Budiman. Zhenzi Wang. Samantha Bauman. Kelly Meyer. Henriette Zahn. Felice Dangsil. Kate Casso. Abby Homan. Mysen Liu. Joseph McMullen. Claire Boyle. Danae Bai. Kai-Shin Shen. Wanshi Soon. Natalie Anderson. Claire Burrington. Sean Lee. We have a new major, food systems, represented by Dr. Kevin Smith. Jordan Burton. Alexander Heilman. Mia Ulysses. Ariel Taylor. Evelyn Riley.
Sorensen.
Riley Sorensen. We have a new major, Forest and Natural Resource Management, represented by Dr. Alan Eck. Emmy Peters. Thomas Burke. Darren Erickson. Andrew Kernan. Josiah Emerson. Paul Walters. Danielle Ringel. Okay. A new major, horticulture graduates, represented by Dr. Eric Watkins. Victoria Housewright. Abigail Reynolds. Redate Thibodeau. Alicia Hirschman. Beth Landy. Aaron Farr. Ryan Gavin. Mark Wilson. New major, nutrition graduates, represented by David Smith. Cynthia Adams. Joanne Olson. Mary Jo Solheid. Vanessa Howdy. Kadra Hassan. Rebecca Barron. Sohaila Shahsivand. Dominique Niki Ino Niwe. Stacy Sargent. Caitlin Bratz. Ashley Corazala. Andrew Wynn. Dana Mullink. Shannon Plath. Brianne Abernathy. Aaron Wintervold. Rachel White. Ann Prescott. Tara Roycraft. Carolyn Moe. Maria Frank. Robert Kress. Stephanie Melby. Cassandra Ramstad. Efeyunwa Onuk. Chelsea Lesniak. Mailu Pena Perez. Sun-hee Lee. Alexis Lunderville. Taylor Nyson. Kayla Pittman. Emily Ralph. Rebecca Layton. Sydney Bainline. Morgan Middlestead. Meredith Rocky. Rachel Ludke. Lori Booley. Courtney Pratt. Eman Elbarberry. Natalie Kossel. Rebecca Keller. Emily Ball. Monica Stasi. Chad Fritz. Shilang Go. Ryan Lehman. Rebecca Deeb. Carolyn Hout. Mandy Dahlheimer. Larry Trung. Ryan Badhart Bull. Jordan Wyseth. Ime Shen. Elaine Keogh. Natalie Huckle. Paige Nelson. Haley Hassel. Ellen Hagel. Juliana Hansen. Minerva Sanchez. We have a new major, plant science, represented by Dr. Eric Watkins. Mark Sather. Jessica Boyer. Lisa Johnson. Lila Westreich. Tessa Reese. That concludes the reading of the student graduates' names. Congratulations, class of 2015.
That was awesome. That was great. Let's give everybody another round of applause. That was fantastic. It's now my pleasure to introduce Regent Darren Rocha to confer the degrees. Regent Rocha is General Manager and Corporate Counsel for Crutchfield Dermatology in Eagan, Minnesota. He's also a Lieutenant Colonel in the Minnesota Army National Guard, currently serving as a military judge. Regent Rocha deployed to Basra, Iraq, as Chief of Operational Law with the 34th Infantry Division, Red Bulls, from 2009 to 2010. He received a BS in Applied Economics in Agriculture, a BA in Political Science, and a JD from the University of Minnesota. He served as an at-large regent from 1989 to 1995. Darren, Valerie, and their 3 young children live on a small horse farm in western Hennepin County. Please join me in welcoming Regent Rocha to the podium.
So, Provost Hanson, Dean Bohr, distinguished faculty, family, guests, and candidates, at least for the next few seconds. It's a great honor for me to be here. This month marks the 25th anniversary of me sitting exactly where you are sitting right now, 1 year after Paul. And I gotta say, it's amazing how quickly it went. In fact, I had a young friend of mine who was trying to get a sense of how fast time goes, because I'm always talking about how fast time goes, and I said, well, let's try this experiment. I'll do this with the candidates. Everybody, please close your eyes. Now open your eyes. That's 25 years. As a regent, my job is to bring some gravity and somberness to this event. And I think the first way to do that is I noticed that one of the candidates had a cell phone up here and took a picture with the dean on his way across the stage. I would just point out, this would be a really cool selfie right now. I'm kind of upset they wouldn't let me bring my phone with me on stage. And, and by the way, to the gentleman over here that said, I believe the quote was, "Whoop, there it is." That had to have given you a flashback to our own graduation. This guy is really old school, whoever he is over here. Anyway, I'm very proud to be here. I'm so excited for all of you and your future, and I'm very proud to be part of the lineage that is the graduates of the College of Food, Agricultural, and Natural Resource Sciences. I would now ask all of the candidates to please stand. Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority of the Board of Regents, I now confer upon you the degrees for which you have qualified. Congratulations.
Thank you, Regent Rocha. You can be seated now. It's okay. Right now, I'd like to thank the Commencement Committee, all of our faculty and staff involved in this event, and the musicians for all of their wonderful work that helped make tonight truly special and memorable. Let's please show them our appreciation. Here's some more instructions. Okay. Following the singing of Hail Minnesota and the recessional, we invite you to join us for refreshments in the east and west hallways located to the left and right as you exit the doors in the back of the auditorium. Outside on the plaza, there will be signs identifying gathering areas for each major. This way, graduates can find faculty and other people from their major. I ask that our guests please remain seated until the recessional has been completed. Graduates, and now I can say that officially, graduates. Yeah. You are our best and brightest. We're proud of you. We send you out to discover your life's mission, knowing that you are well prepared and ready to tackle the next stage of your great journey. My, have you grown. Congratulations. So now I invite everyone to please stand. Join me in singing Hail Minnesota. The words can be found on the next to last page of your program, and I don't care if you can't sing, you need to sing. Okay? Minnesota, hail to thee, our college dear. Thy light shall ever be